Hello guys, welcome to Inspiration KE. Leo mimi ni host wenyu hapa hivi Jose, na tumekuja Bondo, tunataka kuchapa stories zingine za skating. What a parent as a parent you should know about skating and what it entails to be a skater as a sport. Na leo tuko na
Dorcas, the founder of Sia Kids Talent. Okay, Sia Kids Talent is like a talent academy. We do various activities. We do swimming, we do skating, we have done modeling. At one point, we also did karate. But I think right now we are well known for skating. We admit children from the age of 3 to around 17 years, and we compete. We do skating competitively. We go for competitions, and there are those who just do skating also for leisure. Okay, what happens is we have parents who come to us physically, like they pass, they see us training, and then they come. Then we are present in all social medias. We are on TikTok, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we update all our doings when we go for competition, when we go for training. Everything is on the page. So parents, there are very many avenues of knowing about the club. I don't convince parents. What I do is just sensitization about what I do. So when a parent comes, they are already convinced about it, or maybe they can inquire online, and then that is when I answer the questions that they have. But basically, we don't go out sourcing for parents. It's more of like they come to us than we go to them. We are on social media, Sierra County Kids Talent. We are using the same, we are using Sierra Roller Skaters on TikTok, and on Instagram also Sierra Roller Skaters.
when did you start?
I've been in the skating, the kids talent thing since 2018, but I would say the club actively we began in 2021. 2021. That is when I can say now we became a bit serious and involved everyone. But I personally have been since I think since my girl was born in 2014. So I think by 2018 I've been actively involved in issues talent in the country, in Kisumu, in Siaya, and now even in Bondo.
And why skating?
Okay, my first interest was in swimming. Let me go back a bit and tell you about my inspiration. When my child turned 3 years old, I wanted her to do something apart from the books. So I first tried training her how to swim, but she didn't love water, so she refused. So I went online, checked. Then I was like, why can't she do skating? Then I started looking for more information online, and I found a club in Kisumu. So when I found the club in Kisumu, I went, registered her in Kisumu, and then came back to Siaya, convinced her kindergarten school to start skating as a lesson, which they did. And I think I just fell in love with the sport since now my child was not embracing swimming. But because again it was expensive leaving Siaya every weekend to go to Kisumu for training, I said to myself, why don't we start it here at home so that we can also look for other like-minded parents who want their kids to skate.
Skating as a sport, I'm very sure it requires so much resources. How do you get yours?
Skating is let me say, I will say skating is a high-end sport. It's a very expensive sport. Basically, right now we do not have any sponsors. We solely depend on our parents. Like when we have trips, they have to pay for the trips. When the whatever the skating shoes, the parents are the ones who buy. We are praying and hoping that very soon we will be able to maybe get a sponsor who will leverage the parents from spending so much money. But for now, the club has training shoes which are not the ones used for competition. Once we train the child, then the parent is the one who buys the professional shoes for their own kid.
Do you turn one child who once never knew how to skate to be a competitive child?
As you can see from our class right now, we are in groups. There are beginners, there are the intermediaries, and then there are the seniors now. Those ones professionals who are already skating professionally. What we do is we have classes. We when the child comes, we start from zero. We train them. We start from the grass to this other end to now the main road where they skate. And that's what we do. We just start training pole pole, and then as you train as a coach, you come to realize whether a child wants to do skating competitively or just for fun. So when you assess and you see the child has interest in it, that is when now we advise the parents on what kind of shoe to buy, and now we change the kind of training we do. The kind of training we do for kids who compete is different from the kind of training we do for kids who are skating just for a passion. It's different.
Skating as a sport is a
I think everybody has an insurance cover. We do first aid, and we do first response. We have consent forms. So when the parent is signing for the consent form, they leave all the emergency details with us. So in case something happens, which again we are very careful, I think I would be among the few coaches to say, since I started training skating, we haven't had a major injury that requires immediate medical attention. But in case one happens, then we rush the child to the emergency facility that is in their consent form, then inform the parent at that point. But again, it's very difficult for the kids to get hurt, because one thing I have to thank the county government of Siaya for doing is for at least allowing us to make sure that where the kids are skating is safe. As you can see, we can bar the public from accessing the place on weekends. It is something that we do not take for granted, and it is something that we really thank the county government for doing. And in return, our appreciation is by performing very well in the national competitions.
Do you get support from the government, as in, do they finance your competitions?
When we talk of support, support comes in very many ways. I would say that the county government of Siaya gives us support. How? The goodwill. Goodwill is they allow the kids to have the road over the weekends to train on. That is one. We have not been lucky enough to get the financial support. We are sourcing for it. We have not given up on it. We hope at one time the Ministry of Sports, Siaya County, will give a slot to the kids, because it's expensive. As you like right now, we were in Mombasa last week. We are supposed to be in Kampala next weekend, and now because the burden is on the parent, it's a bit heavy. We may miss out on the Kampala trip. So we have not been able to get the financial support, but we are hoping that at one time we will be able to to get it.
So far, we know skating as a leg thing, but I'm pretty sure that there are some people who physically challenged that would love to join skating. How do you take it, and how do you like to face it like a trainer?
Like a trainer, like here in Bondo, I have trained a deaf child. She's in boarding school. If you come here over the weekends, you will find her here. She's deaf. She's around 12 years. She trains with us. We have kids with physical issues here and there, and they train with us. So I would say, like, as a club, we've embraced special needs, and we have members of our club that have special needs, and I think we really tolerate them. We have kids who are autistic, and they train with us. We know how to handle that to our best. So skating may limit some disabilities, but some kids, some types of special needs may not be able to skate, like the blind, for example. But those that can skate, like the deaf, the dumb, we allow them to train with us.
How long do you train for in a
We
day?
train every weekend from 10 to 5 p.m. Trust is earned. So you find when a child is new, the parent may be bringing them and then sitting with us the whole time. But when they are here monitoring, they realize that their kids are safe with us. And then with time, they win the kids off. So they just come, and the parents just trust is built, as I was saying before. So, but when a parent comes, we allow them to sit here. We don't have a problem with that. And you find that they can be here the first time, second time, and then they win off. So the kids are safe with us. Even recently, we were in Mombasa, and we went with as young as 3-year-olds to Mombasa by ourselves without the parents. So I would say, like, we have a past of taking very good care of the kids. We also allow parents to travel with us if they are comfortable doing that. We allow the parents to sit at the training grounds if they feel that they cannot, they want to be there. But we have earned the trust of people. Even as you can see right now, I have a 2-year-old here, I have a 3-year-old, so it's not an issue.
Families, and a child may be suffering, like let's say the parents are having quarrels every now and then. the gender-based violence, and they are trying to get their head straight for the training, but some may ought not to do that. Like it may be difficult. How do you handle such situations?
First thing I would say is that I am a trained counseling psychologist. I think that is one service I offer my parents free as members of my club. So, as a psychologist, it's very easy for me to notice when a child is having a problem, and we offer the psychological support that they need. And if need be, we can go as far as involving the parents. But I would say the psychological needs of the kids in the club are catered for by me. So, like, we always have to find a way of making sure that everybody is mentally okay. Like, sometimes you find maybe a child joined and the parent is having issues, so the child may be forced to drop out. But sometimes, because of the mental state of the child, we come in as a club and decide that now that child will just continue with the training as the parent is having their own financial challenges, and the club will now cater for the needs of that child.
Talking of financial challenges, how much do you charge per child, and for how long? Is it a package deal or is just the 1 day thing?
Okay, it depends. There are kids in the club who do monthly subscriptions. We do 1500 per month. And then there are kids who just come for play, like a day. We charge around 400 shillings per day. When they come, they pay 400 shillings. They use our boots, we train them, and then they go. Or they can pay that 1500 shillings and they are eligible to train the whole month so long as they are available.
And do you access their education, like their studies, how they're going on with their studies?
Yes, not really like, okay, we don't go into their books like checking the books, but as a club manager and everything, we just give the talks. Like, we have talks immediately we finish our skating at 4, we have a meeting. So we just encourage the kids. Like, maybe a parent can complain that the child is not concentrating or one, two, three things. So ours is just to motivate the kids to work hard and tell them if they work hard, then the parents will be happy to pay for their skating.
I'm very sure you have experienced that time when the child is rebelling against your lessons. How do you handle that?
Okay, this is something kids do. What do you call it? It's like a leisure activity somebody does. So we really don't expect rebellion. If it's rebellion, then it means it's the parent who is forcing the child to do. But one thing I always tell parents is let the child voluntarily do it. So I would say I haven't really faced rebellion as such. It is unless it's a new kid and they are not, like, okay, learning how to skate is very challenging, so sometimes the child will fall down and feel like they don't want to do that anymore. So that is when you may find maybe a little resistance. But with the normal kids, this is something you love, it's a passion, it's something you do from deep down your heart. So it is very difficult for you to find that a child is rebelling. I haven't faced rebellion.
And they always say you do what you love, and maybe what you love may not love you. And you may be coming to train every single day, and it's not just you're not just getting it. How do you handle a child that is almost giving up for not being able to balance? Because skating is just a matter of balancing.
Okay, as with my experience, one thing I always tell parents, we need patience. There's a child who will learn skating in a week, there's another child who will learn in a month, another one will learn even in 6 months. So, personally, I grade the kids individually. We give every child their own time. If it takes you a year to learn, it's fine, we'll always be there for you. So, we really don't pressurize the kids. We don't put pressure on the kids that they must know, they must learn, they must do it. So I think our kids are very comfortable. They learn at their pace, and we really embrace all of us. The ones who know, the ones who don't know. We have national champions here in our club, and we have kids who have not cannot even cannot finish a race, but we treat them equally. So for us, it's just patience, and each and every individual has their own targets. There's somebody we want to do maybe 5 kilometers in a day. There's another person who can only do 100 meters in a day, and they're done.
I'm very sure you have some pros and some beginners. Okay, how do you convince them that that the beginner is at the same a safer place with the pro, giving the time difference and the experience difference?
When you say safer, what do you mean?
Like you don't, the kid doesn't feel like, I don't know, so I should not trust
Yeah,
the other person.
we remind them that this guy started maybe a year or 3 years before them, and that they will reach where those people are. We encourage kids. We award our kids. Like today, you've seen we have a whole cake here for them to eat because they were performed so well in Mombasa. As a coach, one thing is your children believe in you as their coach. So I don't take that for granted. So because they believe in me, I just tell them, you will be better. We will learn more. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. So for us, whether you are a learner, whether you are a pro, when we come back to club level, we are all the same.
We are all the same. Apart from skating and skills, what other thing do the kids come out with in your club?
Number one, I would say responsibility, need for responsibility. Some of these kids, you find they come from families where everything is done for them. So when they join the club, then they have to be responsible for their own things. They have to learn how to put on their boots by themselves. And when we travel, every child has to take care of their property, take care of themselves until we come back. So I would say responsibility is one thing that the kids learn from here. Coexistence is another thing that they learn from here because we are from different families, different religions, different tribes. We each and every person has their own traditions and behaviors. So when they come here, they learn to coexist with each other and know that not everything doesn't happen the way it happens in their place, in their places. So I would say we also another thing that the kids learn here is self-esteem. Like once sometimes they come here feeling very less of themselves, but when they train and they are able to build their skills and they are able to go for competitions and win or even just finish the race, it really makes them feel good about themselves. And I would say that most of the kids in this club have very high self-esteem. Even when they don't know something, they would be giving a wrong answer very proudly. We really try to boost their esteem issues. So we can say we can say that the kids have very very high self-esteem.
Okay, as a roller skater, yeah, who inspired you to do what you do?
I would say my daughter. I would say I'm one person who really doesn't have so much talent. I'm a bookworm, if you would say. But I would say that I did not want my child to come out like me. I wanted my child to be all rounded. So she inspired me to do something with talent. And because not CIA doesn't really have a lot of organizations dealing with kids' talent. So it has made me get into this. In return, I think she benefits as other children also benefit. I do it solely for her. Like modeling, skating, I started it with her first. Like before I do anything, even swimming, I first trained her is when I looked for other kids also to train, so that we cut on the cost of on the cost of looking for coaches. Because again, I cannot train. We have a branch here and in Siaya. I cannot be there in both the clubs, and I am also not like high-end skating trainer. So at one point we source for coaches from outside the county, sometimes as far as Nairobi, Kisumu, other places. So it would be very expensive to hire a coach just for one child. So maybe let me say a club is also a way of financial pooling together of resources.
You as a trainer, I'm very sure you are a personal person also. How do you handle personal issues and with the kids always here? How do you handle it?
Personal issues like,
Um, let's say you have that one place you must be.
okay, the club has we have coaches who we hire from outside, but we also have people who one thing I would say is we have coaches who come when we call for them who come from outside, but also as a club we have child minders like the ones who sit with the kids at the pool. We have other coaches also who are affiliated to the club, who we can always source when I'm not around. They can always come and be in there for me. So I may not be around physically, but I'm already monitoring everything online.
Before we jump into swimming, you said that you went to a competition. How did you perform?
We have performed so well. I think if you look at our social media handles, We have one thing I would boast about is my kids have proven beyond reasonable doubt that we are able to compete nationally. We have been to Mwea, we have been to Nairobi, we have been to Mombasa twice, we have been to Eldoret, and in all those competitions we've done so well. The kids were number two, and we bagged some few medals plus monetary rewards for the kids. We are now looking forward to the Nairobi Championship. That is an international competition that is in August on 20th, and we are looking forward to Kampala. If God willing, we'll be able to go. We'll be going to Kampala over the weekend. One thing I would say is we are the best in this part of Sahara.
You're the best. You're the best. She just said they are the best. Okay, you said about swimming. Where do you swim? Where do you do the swimming lessons? And who is the swimming teacher? Oh, are you still the one?
Okay, I train basics of swimming, but we have a coach. We pay. What happens with swimming is we have to contract the hotels where we go and pay for the pool charges. Then, as a club, we pay the coach, and uh, and then the kids come and swim. So basically, it's done in hotels. Like in Siaya, we do it at Siaya Summit Hotel because the Siaya Summit gives us a better package for the kids who are coming for the classes. Another thing I would say is, as a talent manager, even if today I was to introduce a new class or a new type of sport, it is always upon me to first learn it before I I contract somebody else to come and do it. So basically, I can train the basic classes for both swimming and skating. But when we are done with the basics, then we bring in the coach who now does it for us competitively. For swimming, we haven't really gone competitively as such. We've only been to one gala in Kisumu, Aga Khan last year. The weather hasn't allowed us this year to train, but we are looking forward to starting our swimming classes very soon again. We are looking forward to the Uasin Gishu Championship. It is, I think, it's the biggest competition this side of the country.
Have you ever had that one parent that once came to you that before his or her child joined your organization, joined your team, joined your club, used to perform poorly, but then it has, like, since you started teaching the kid the extracurricular, has it ever occurred to you that the parent comes to appreciate your work and everything?
Yeah, my parents really appreciate our work. And once or twice they do rewarding fundraising where they just say, let's give the coach, let's give the management something as a token of appreciation. But as I was telling you, sometimes there's a child who comes here when they really are having low self-esteem and having very not very good social skills. So once they come here and they pick up and they start feeling good and they believe in themselves, it equally translates to the academics. So yes, we have seen kids who have performed so well after joining the club. Again, also we do not, we as a club, we always say you will not you will not come for competition if you're not performing well in school. So if your parent says you're not doing your best in school, then you have to stop training so that at least you boost your academic work. So they know very well that when school closes, everybody comes and tells you, coach, I've added these marks, I've reduced these marks, I've improved my position. So yes, we can say that a child, this is like a token parents give their kids. So no child will want to miss skating because they failed in school. So they really work hard in school also.
And once you have identified one child that is not catching up faster than it's supposed to be, or you perhaps want it to be, how do you make sure that he catches up without feeling like he's being overlooked?
Okay, what happens is we do not have a time frame for somebody to learn. So we cannot say that you're not catching up like we want you to do. So long as you are making an effort, we are here to wait for as long as you will learn. This thing is different. Brains work differently. Even swimming, anything to do with the talent, people learn at their own paces. You can find a child who learns very fast but will not be very competitive. Then you can find a child who learns takes time but is very competitive at the end of the day and gives you medals even more than the ones who learned faster.
My name is Jelijila Nachinguchia.
Yes. Wewe ni umekuwa member kwa hii club for how long?
I have been, I'll just say 2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
Na umeenda competitions kangapi?
for 6 days.
6 days.
Yes.
Na imekupelekaje? Unaona ni kama unapenda unaenda ukipenda skating ama unaenda ukichukia?
I love skating. So what I have learned about skating helps me to know how many people, helps me to have someone that I can even skate with on my age of skating. So it's helped me even to go where I haven't even go since I was born. So sometimes when we go to competition in Siaya Skating Club, sometimes we come number 2, number 1, number 3, or we just don't lose hope. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. So it helps us not to lose our hope in us.
So unaweza ambiaje mtoto mwingine hapa hivi anaona skating ni ngumu ngumu, huko watu ni kuanguka kuanguka, unaweza mwambia nini?
I, I love to tell him that skating is not hard. It's just for the first time, if you see it's hard, it's not hard. So if you come, you just go on the grass, wear your boots, start walking like you're walking every day, touch your toes. By little, you can know skating very well as me.
Yes, by little you can know skating very well.
We are requesting possible sponsors out there who would like to work with us, that we are open, and we would like the support from whichever company, whichever person, be it an individual, to come forward and at least help the kids with the whatever, the skates, the pads, the helmets, the uniforms, and everything that somebody can bring through. Another thing is watch this space. We are the next big thing in this country, and yeah, we are coming up very steadily and very fast. At least we are now competing with the giants in this country, and then people don't believe that we skating is in Siaya. So the only thing I can say is if you can offer any support, give it to us. I would like to thank the county government of Siaya for their goodwill support that they are giving us. We don't take it for granted, and we are putting Siaya on the map. I think right now, on matters skating, Siaya County is known, is known. So thank you very much.
Yes, as we finish up, let us ask one small question. What are your future plans with the club, and how do you plan on pushing it forward as we finish off?
My future plans is allowing the kids to attend international events. Like right now, there's a very big international skating event happening in Germany. Uh, my dream, I think that is what if I would have done, I will now tell myself it is time to hang my boots or now to leave them where they are. My dream is that one time as a club, we are going to be able to travel to Germany and represent this country and this county in the international marathon. And again, my biggest dream is when these kids turn 18, they will be able to attend the Berlin skating marathon. That is the biggest marathon in in this world. It's something that if you do, then you have reached the level of satisfaction. So our dream is just to go international with the kids.
Well, guys, as you've just heard it, everyone got dreams, but what are you doing towards it? If you're inspired by the stories, if you're inspired, if you want to bring your kids, if you want to bring your kids, you are from Bondo, you are from Siaya, she'll have to give us her number so that you can bring your kids, so that you can see the benefit that other kids are seeing in Bondo.
Okay, my number is 0723 362 3330. Our email address, our email address is on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are Siaya County Kids Talent. On TikTok, we are Siaya Roller Skating Club. And on Instagram, we are also Siaya Roller Skating Club. You'll find more of our contact details from there.
Thank you very much for hosting us today, and Guys, make sure you subscribe and watch our videos. There are some videos up down there you can watch. You tell us which video inspired you the most, and you can tell us which kind of video you want us to bring you next. And thank you. I've been your host Joseph, and till next time, thank you. Sasa hii tunaenda kukata keki, tukule keki. Sawa?
Haya, just cut in pieces.
Mulisha coach bana, Mulisha coach. Hey, coach has done a tremendous job.
Kwanza is when we repeat and repeat. Let me show myself.
They love you. Everyone wants to.
Now, because I don't want to choose one person and I leave the rest, now let me show myself.
Clap for her.